Let's continue to look back at yesterday's action, and in particular the Cascarino game in Amsterdam, where Wales were eliminated, losing 4-0 to Denmark. We've spoken already a little bit about Wales, so perhaps we should talk about Denmark and how this tournament has... Well, it's been a really interesting tournament. We know obviously what happened in that first game against Finland and with Christian Eriksen, and you feel, having come through that emotional moment, let's say, and the time after that, and you know, they had a moment of reflection, didn't they? And I know that the squad was sort of brought together, and they were given the options of going home to their families, just to have sort of a break from everything that had happened. They've sort of come back together, and they have shown such brilliant mental strength to be able to get through, as it is now, to the quarterfinals of the European Championship.
Yeah, I think they've got a really good side. And I touched on it yesterday about there's an element of youth in there. Damsgaard, I think, looks a hell of a player. Mæhle looks another great player, fullback. You just look across, they have people like Vestergaard, Højbjerg, experience. Christensen's been superb for them, playing different roles. And then you go to the forward lines, and we've seen there the second forward, because Poulsen normally plays for them up front, and Kasper Dolberg come in and done really well. Braithwaite's got great pace. They've just got a bit of everything in their team. And they were my pick. I had to do one for the Times. I had to pick a team that I thought might go well, and I said Denmark, and obviously...
You mean before the tournament?
Before the tournament.
Right.
I thought they could go... Don't get me wrong, I don't think they can win it, but I thought they could go well. And obviously the Finland game, as we touched on before, was a bit of a void, because what happened, you could see the effects of both sets of players on the day, and rightly so, that, you know, you could never make an assessment of what Denmark were like that day, and probably for the following game it was still, you know, they got beat by Belgium, but they showed in the first half against Belgium they are one hell of a side. And apart from Kevin De Bruyne, they probably would have won that game.
Well, it was the second half substitutions that changed that game, absolutely. And Denmark tired a little bit.
They tired, but De Bruyne had done, you know, what he can do in a moment, can make vital passes and, you know, sets Lukaku up for a great goal. But I did feel that they showed in 45 minutes they can be a team to be reckoned with. And I thought they continued that yesterday. Their work rate is exceptional as well. You know, I talked about... There's two things. The way the modern game has evolved now is that without the ball, you've got to be up there with the very best. You know, if you look at all the teams around in Europe, the very, very best club teams, all of them without the ball are very competitive. You don't get the opportunity to relax. You have to keep the tempo up. You have to be able to win the ball back very, very quickly. Italy have done it brilliantly, you know, in this tournament as well. And if you can't do that, you're going to pay a price. It's when I talked about the game yesterday, I said one thing that would bother me is that I'm not sure Wales will keep up with the work rate of Denmark. And they did for a period, a small period in the game, the first 15 minutes. After that, Denmark just took them apart.
Well, let's bring your reaction then to that result from Denmark and from the Denmark camp. Kasper Schmeichel was giving his thoughts to Nigel Adley after the game and speaking about the special support that they had in the stadium in Amsterdam.
Kasper, what a great performance, and you know, here in Amsterdam with so many fans, it was a perfect day for you.
It was. To come to a different country and experience a stadium, I don't know what it was, 90-95% of it felt like that anyway, were Danish fans, and to put in the performance that we did, yeah, it was amazing. We had trouble in the first 15-20 minutes with Bale and Ramsey getting into little pockets and causing us problems, and then we talked about how we would adjust if that happened, and we moved Andreas up into midfield, and that gave us a little bit more stability. It helped us in our build-up play, and getting the goal was important because, and particularly the one straight after half-time, because that obviously meant that Wales had to come and get drawn out a little bit, and that gave us a few more opportunities, and we needed a little bit of luck with the VAR calls going our way, and yeah, we're now going to celebrate tonight and enjoy this moment because they're so rare. And then tomorrow we dust ourselves down. We see who we're going to play against.
But you're really on a journey now, aren't you? That the fans, the nation, it's all moving in the right direction.
Yeah, we had somewhat of a rough start, to put it mildly. And to see the way that the nation has come together, the support to come to a different country and to see it's that many Danish flags in the streets when we were driving to the stadium. On our walk this morning, seeing all the Danish fans everywhere, it's unique, and I think it reminds us why we actually play football from when we're children. We play football because it's a team sport. We have teammates who are there for us when things happen, and I think that's what the Danish team has shown is that we stand together and we help each other in the hardest moments.
Just finally, did you have a word with Danny Ward after the game?
Yeah, listen, I told him he's had an unbelievable tournament, and I'm not surprised. He's a top-class goalkeeper. I said it to our boys before the game. We're coming up against a top-class goalkeeper. He's not a keeper who has any weaknesses per se. He's a keeper who is who's very, very solid in every aspect of goalkeeping. A modern goalkeeper, great mentality, and for me, a great teammate. And I'm really proud to see how well he's done. I'm so happy for him that he got the chance to show it on the world stage. And yeah, he's been exceptional.
Great to get the thoughts there of Kasper Schmeichel then, great talker as he is. And it was really important what he mentioned there about the tactical change they made in around 20 minutes of that first half, because it was a great start that Wales had made, and they started with a back three, Denmark, and the head coach Kasper Hjulmand made changes, and they went to a back four with Andreas Christensen put into midfield. So how much credit does he deserve for changing it, that in-game management?
Well, that's what managers do. If you're paid good money and you're asked to make tactical changes, you spot that other people don't see, and Christensen moves into midfield and then stops Ramsey more than anybody. To spot it early, but Kasper Schmeichel gave it away a little bit there. He did say that we talked about this obviously in training. So it was a tactic they were very aware of and very comfortable with, and Christensen goes into midfield and really stops Aaron Ramsey. That was the main threat for me, that if you could stop him, because he makes great runs, he like he said, he picks up the ball in little pockets, he'll cause you a lot of trouble. But yeah, fair play to him. And by the way, we're talking, Dean Saunders talking about a small nation with, just over 3 million Wales. Denmark have got less than 6 million as a population. They're a small country in European terms, and yet they produce a lot of good sides. And this Danish team is growing on everybody. I think they're showing that there'll be a lot of clubs looking at some of the younger players of the Danish team and thinking, it's one we could try and take. Milo has come from, nowhere very, very quickly, and so is Damsgaard,
Just like to point out that's what Brentford do. We like to go for Danish players.
Yes, well, you probably won't. You're probably going to miss the boat on these ones, Nat.
Yeah, might be a bit more competition these days.
There'll be a bit more trouble trying to get them. But there's a number of them, and they're a good side, a big win for them, and Wales have had a good tournament. Getting out in the group phase is a great feat to do. But yesterday was a bit of a step too far for a number of Welsh players who are not playing in their first teams, wherever they're playing.
Well, Denmark don't have too long to wait to find out who they'll play in the quarterfinals. It's the Netherlands and Czech Republic, the winner of that they'll face in Baku on Saturday. And that one is coming up for you live at 5 o'clock tonight with Adam Bridge and Trevor Sinclair bringing you the commentary for that one.